The tiling option inside of Resize is a really great way to print a larger image if you don't have access to a large format printer. It's also a really fun way to create cool photo effects for your prints. On the right-hand side of the screen, first we'll take a look at the document size pane. Right now, my photo is set to 20 by 30 inches, and this is going to be really important when we try and figure out the tiling size for our photo. Now down below is the tiling pane. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. Now what tiling is separating a larger photo into smaller, easier to print sections. In most cases, people don't have a large format printer sitting at home where they can make these larger prints. I know that I only have a smaller printer and I would never be able to print a 20 by 30 inch photo at home. However, I still would like to have a large photo print for my wall, and tiling is a way for us to do that. The photo right now has cyan guidelines over the image, and this is showing you where those tiles are. Inside the tiling pane, you can see the tile size. There's a width and a height, as well as the output, because this will create multiple different files that you'll print individually. Now let's start with the tile size, and this is where our document size of the larger photo comes in handy. I want to create tile sizes that I can print out easily that will create an even amount of tiles for my photo. Now 20 and 30 are both divisible by 10, and I can print a 10 by 10 inch sheet of paper on my printer at home. So let's go ahead and adjust the tile size. Let's start by typing in the new width. Right now it's at 8 by 10, but we're going to type in 10, and then we're going to leave our height the way that it is. Now you'll be able to see that there are 6 even-sized tiles on my photo now. Instead of the strange half tiles that were on the right-hand side before, all of these are exactly the same size and fit perfectly on my photo. There's also a section underneath the width and height called overlap. When you're finishing your print, you've got all of your different tiles and you want to put them back together. Overlap is a great way to make sure that your photo is seamless when you put it back together in print form. You don't always have to use this option, but it's a really great way to get a beautiful print once you're done. I can take that overlap, and let's say that we want at least 1 inch of overlap of each tile. Once I type that in, you're going to be able to see that there are these small 1-inch strips that will be printed on both this tile in the top left-hand corner, as well as this middle tile right here. This small strip of information will be on both of them, and they'll overlap when I combine my print after all the individual tiles are done. You don't have to use overlap, and it'll depend on the type of project that you're working on, but it can be a really useful option. I'm going to go ahead and type 0 because I don't want any overlap. To the right of the width and height options, right now it says inches, which means I'm measuring my width and height by a special size, 10 by 10 inches. If you open up the drop-down menu, you'll also be able to see that you can select columns. Now when I choose columns, it'll automatically change the width and height to columns and rows. I love this option because it can sometimes make the math part of trying to figure out how many tiles and what size they need to be for your custom document size. This makes it all a lot easier. So let's say that I want my width to be at least 5 columns, and I want my height to be at least 4. Now, each one of these are exactly the same size. The program is going to do the math for me, and down in the output section, you can see the actual tile size for each one of these. So these tiny little boxes are going to be 6 by 5 inches. This also makes using overlap a lot easier. Overlap can sometimes adjust your tile size and make things a little strange. So now if I put my overlap at 0.5 inches, I don't have to worry about doing any additional math. It does it all for me. Columns and rows is a really great way to work with this program. You don't have to if you know you're working with a specific size, but it's definitely very useful. Now, under the output section, right now, you can see the tile size as well as the file type. You can change the file type. I have it set to JPEG, but if you want to work with TIFFs, you can do that. And then you can also choose a location. This is where each one of these different tiles will end up going. If you click the Choose button, it'll just open up a dialog box where I can go through and I can select the folder that I want to put all of these in. Once I go ahead and click Open, it'll select that option, and when I click Save, it will save out all of these different files.